Siri, what will the date be in 90 days' time?
It's Monday, the 8th of December, 2025.
Let's lock in. If you've been online in the last week or so, you would have seen everyone talking about the great lock-in of 2025.
In the great lock-in of 2025, this is how you're actually going to stay consistent. Number one, start with small actions that you can consistently show up for. Instead of
today until December 31st, and you're wondering how you're going to achieve what you want to achieve, what do you even want to achieve, and how are you going to get
It is September 1st, so you know what that means. It's a new season.
Participating in the Great Lock-In starting September 1st, this is for you. If you haven't heard of it or you have no idea what I'm talking about, the Great Lock-In is essentially the time period between September 1st and the end of the year and how
we're locking in for the rest of the year. And you know what? I've been inspired. So today I'm planning to lock in from today until December. So what is today's date? Today is the 9th of September, locking in from now until the 8th of December to reach some of my goals. And I'm hoping that by doing so, I inspire you to do the same and we can go through this process together. Now, earlier in the year, I set myself some outrageous goals, which, as like everything, I went all gung-ho and then it all came crashing down. And so if you're like me, a bit of a chronic procrastinating perfectionist, you might relate to this because I absolutely burnt myself out again. And now we're starting afresh. But earlier in the year, some of my goals were to run a half marathon. I inevitably rolled my ankle early into that journey and haven't ran since. My other goal was to somehow get to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, but after posting pretty much every day for a month after that little challenge earlier in the year, I stopped posting altogether. They were the main ones. Reading every day, I stopped reading. Look, I stopped doing all those goals and I don't really have any excuses. So we're here, we're locking in together. Let's dial it back a bit and actually be successful this time around, because wouldn't that be a dream? At this time of year, it's easy to just kind of give it all up and say, let's just start afresh on January 1 next year, but we are not going to be those girls. We are going to get back in the swing of things and finish the year strong, because we will feel like we've achieved so much more if we lock in now and start our habits today. Imagine the future version of ourselves, and then we will be up-leveled even further for 2026. And in Australia, September also brings us spring, which is a lovely time for a reset and new beginnings. It leads us into summer. Everything starts sprouting and growing, and with that, we can think of ourselves as having some personal growth and growing and getting better every single day. Hey, hey, hey. And if we haven't met before, I'm Maddie. I'm a fertility and women's health dietitian and just share some things on the old YouTube. Thanks for being here. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Today, I wanted to go through 4 steps that we're going to use for this 90-day lock-in, reset, whatever you want to call it, to actually achieve some goals without burning the F out. So, step one, we are going to lower expectations. And not in a negative way, because I am a person that loves to dream big girlfriend. But I am talking about, just for this lock-in period, let's not aim to run the half marathon. Let's give ourselves a goal of 10 kilometers, which is going to be one of my goals. let's just, for this little reset, lower those expectations, and then once we hit that goal, then we know that we can accomplish it and we can improve and make our dreams bigger from there. I think sometimes we just need to know that we can achieve not something so small, but something that is in between that small goal and that huge end goal. So let's lower our expectations, lower the bar a little bit for yourself, because I know you're exactly like me. You're a perfectionist, you're a go-getter, you're a busy woman who has always been out there achieving her goals, and sometimes you put some very unrealistic expectations on what you can achieve in a small period of time. Now, don't get me wrong, you will achieve your goals, but how long it will take you to get to said goals is the key. And I want you to think of it a bit like a footy game. It's very rare that they kick 10 goals all at once, but it is so achievable to kick 10 goals in that 4 quarters of footy. So we are not thinking about that 4 quarters as being this 90 days. We are just thinking of the 90 days as 1 quarter. So what can we achieve in that 1 quarter of this game? Step 2, pick your 3 goals. 3 goals. All right. Now, this is the key, because for those that have done the 75 hard, other things, I feel like it's just such a long list of daily goals, but of daily habits. But what for? It's just to say that you can do it, which, like, great mental, physical resilience, but I've had a few clients do it this year, and then post doing it, the burnout hits, and they almost just did it to do it rather than for them to reach some goals. So what are your 3 goals? So for me, during this 90-day lock-in, thinking about those huge, ginormous goals I set earlier in the year, number 1, my goal in the next 90 days will be to run 10 kilometers. Goal number 2, so my big goal is to get to 100,000 subscribers. I'm at 500 right now. But my goal is to be able to educate as many women as possible on how important nutrition is for your health, particularly women's health, and how much nutrition can empower you to improve your chances of success with fertility treatments, PCOS. Like, it can impact your hormones in so many ways. So in order for me to reach more women and educate more women in both a free and paid capacity along the spectrum, my goal is to get to 10,000 subscribers across my platform. So that's Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Goal number 3 for me is going to have a solid meditation, journaling routine. In step 2, we're going to pick 1 goal for our body, 1 goal for our mind, and 1 goal for connection. So for me, it's running and getting my body moving again, and I feel like that will be such a great achievement for me. But for you, it could be hitting a certain target with your nutrition, with your hydration, anything along those lines. a goal for your mind. So whether it's journaling, reading, whatever is going to bring you to your best future self. I think let's think of it like that. Like we are going to be up leveling into our future selves. And when we look back on these 3 months, we will be so happy with what we've achieved. And goal number 3 is for connection. So for me, that is connecting with a bigger audience online so I can educate and empower more women to learn about women's health, nutrition, and how it can positively impact their hormones and in particular help with increasing the fertility success. For you, it might be spending more time with friends, family. It could be anything. So that's our step 1 and step 2 done. And then step 3, very, very important. If we don't do step 3, then this will all just be for nothing. Step 3, we are going to track our wins. I'll rewrite this so it's a bit neater for everyone. This is where momentum will be. This is where the momentum really builds, because how are we meant to know how we're going with everything if we don't track it? So do that in whatever way works for you. It could be post-it notes, habit tracker, etc., etc. Writing in your diary, whatever works for you. That is step 3. Last step, do I have room on my little whiteboard? I think so. Step 4, create flow, not force. So we want to build the habits positively, because if we have a negative experience, then we're not going to do it. There is a quote I love from Atomic Habits. If you haven't read it, definitely do. It is a great read. But James Clear says, "You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems," or something along those lines, which is so true. So you want to make the flow of reaching these goals, of building these habits easier. So whether that be putting your shoes out the night before for your gym workout, whether it be habit stacking, so while you're having your morning coffee, you're also reading a book, or another good one is while you're boiling the kettle, that is when you drink a glass of water. When something feels natural, we are more likely to stick at it. And it's so true. And I think that the other important aspect of this is consistency. Consistency is more important than perfection. And if I want you to take anything away from that, it is that consistent, small, little changes in whatever you're doing leads to a bigger, better result than trying to be perfect from day one. So let's all work at this together. We've got 90 days of just slowly plodding along, getting to our realistic but powerful goals, and we can do this. So here's our little lock-in formula for the next 90 days. Just to remind you, we're going to step 1, lower the bar, keep it simple, lower expectations, but still hit some amazing goals. Step 2, pick 3 goals, not 20. 1 for your mind, 1 for your body, and 1 for connection. Step 3, we're going to track this. We're going to see how we're going with this. Now, we don't need to be perfect every day, but we want to be consistent. If you miss a day, that is fine. Just pick yourself up and go again. And step 4, create flow for those habits. Do not force it. Don't create friction. We want to make this a positive experience in one which we do not burn out, because we don't need that. We do not want to be burnt out in December. Repeat after me. We are not going to be burnt out queens in December. Yes, Nora, you too. I heard you. See you later. And I'll keep you posted on my goals.